Jessica Frost-Ballas here with a video for Honeybee Stamps. Today I'm sharing my very first mini Slimline card featuring a spooky ink blending combo and some Halloween stamps and dies from Honeybee Stamps. So let's get started. First I trim a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock to 3.5 by 6.5 inches, which gives me a 1/4 inch border that I can eventually trim off for a smooth blended finish. The largest mini Slimline die is 3 by 6 inches and gives me a nice sized canvas to create my spooky scene. I'm using the Boo Buzzword die cut from black glitter cardstock as the focal point of my card, so I figure out the approximate placement so I can focus my ink blending around that. I blend Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink behind where the Boo sentiment will be, and then blend it out with peacock feathers and black soot. You can find more of my blending tips and tricks in the video linked above. I've never actually created a mini slim card before, and I was a little anxious about fitting the entire scene into a smaller area, but I find that I really like the size. I do enjoy creating a full-size Slimline card with lots of images, but this size is kind of fun too. You can easily create an impactful card quickly without needing a ton of images and elements. I also like that you get more of the impact of the vertical space than you would with a traditional A2 sized card. I'd love to know if you've tried mini Slimline cards yet, and if so, which do you prefer? Full-size slims, mini slims, or traditional A2 cards? Anyway, back to the ink blending. I love this combo for a Halloween scene. The shade that Twisted Citron and Peacock Feathers creates when blended together is this great poisonous looking green, and Peacock Feathers and Black Soot create this spooky blue-gray shade. I go back and forth between the colors until I have a smooth blend. Then I set the panel aside to dry completely. Next, I stamp the little ghost from Trick or Treat onto vellum with embossing ink and heat emboss him with black embossing powder before die cutting him with the coordinating die. I also die cut the tree from Trick or Treat. Then I tear a piece of black cardstock to create a rough-edged ground for my scene. Originally, I was just going to use the die cut tree for the scene, but I changed my mind and decided I wanted to add the stamped lines for some more interest. I placed the negative from the die in my MISTI, line up the stamp on top, and then place my die cut in the MISTI for easy stamping. I stamp it with embossing ink and heat emboss it with black embossing powder. Then I stamp the rest of the sentiment from Trick or Treat onto the ground with embossing ink and heat emboss it with white embossing powder. Once my blended panel is totally dry, I splatter it with water, white gouache, and a little black gouache. I let it dry completely between each splatter. I use a larger paintbrush for the white gouache and a tiny stiff brush for the black. Now it's time to create my scene. I adhere the ground and trim off the excess. Then I add my tree and kind of fit the Boo sentiment around the branches of the tree. I use vellum adhesive to adhere the ghost so you don't see any adhesive showing. Finally, I adhere the panel to a card base for my very first mini Slimline card. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the Honeybee Stamps channel for even more crafty inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a fantastic day and happy crafting. Bye!